Most people think I became the richest man on earth because I was a genius. They think it was all smooth sailing from Harvard to the top of the world. But they're wrong. They didn't see me in 1975 staring at a magazine cover, realizing that if I didn't act within 24 hours, the greatest opportunity in human history would vanish. They didn't see the nights I went without sleep for 3 days straight, coding until my fingers bled just to beat a deadline that everyone said was impossible. I didn't just build a company. I started a war for the future. And this is how I won it. The early years, the obsession. Growing up in Seattle, I wasn't the strongest kid or the most popular. But when I sat in front of a computer, I was a king. At 13, while other kids were out playing baseball, I was hacking into systems just to see how they worked. My friend Paul Allen and I were obsessed. We weren't looking for money. We were looking for power, the power to control a machine with nothing but our minds. When I got to Harvard, I felt like I was in a cage. The world was changing outside those ivy-covered walls, and I was stuck in a classroom. So I did the unthinkable. I dropped out. I told my parents I'd be back, but in my heart, I knew I was never going back. We moved to a dusty office in Albuquerque. No furniture, no sleep, just us, the code, and a vision that one day there would be a computer in every single home on the planet. People called us crazy. They said computers were for the government, not for people. I decided to prove them wrong. The turning point, the IBM gamble. The real turning point was 1980. IBM, the biggest tech giant in the world, needed an operating system for their new PC. I told them we had one. The truth? We didn't have a thing. I took a massive gamble, bought a system from another programmer for $50,000, and flipped it to IBM. But here was the masterstroke. I refused to sell them the software. I licensed it. I knew that if every computer in the world ran on Microsoft code, I wouldn't just own a company, I would own the entire industry. That was the day the empire was truly born. The success rules, in my own words. People always ask me for my rules. Here is the unfiltered truth of how I stayed on top for decades. Rule 1. Speed is life. In the tech world, you're either the hunter or the prey. I never took a day off in my 20s. Not one. I knew that if I rested, someone else was out there coding, trying to take my crown. You have to be faster than the competition, or you're dead. Rule 2. Be a professional paranoid. I used to tell my employees that we were always just 12 months away from going out of business. Success is a lousy teacher. It makes you think you can't lose. I spent every day looking for the next threat, the next company that wanted to kill us. If you aren't worried about failing, you've already failed. Rule 3. Control the standard. I didn't want to make the best computer. I want to make the software that every computer had to use. When you control the platform, you control the world. Rule 4. The Think Weak rule. Every year, I go into the woods alone for 7 days. No phone, no internet, just books and a notepad. If you don't take time to think about the big picture, you'll get lost in the noise of the daily grind. Rule 5. Listen to the haters. Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. Most people ignore criticism. I used it as fuel to make Microsoft better, faster, and more dominant. The conclusion, the legacy. I've moved on from the boardroom to the global stage, fighting diseases and climate change. But the fire inside hasn't changed. I still believe that a small group of people with a big idea can change the world. I was just a kid who loved to code, and I ended up changing the way humanity lives. The question isn't, can you do it? The question is, are you willing to obsess over it until it becomes a reality?